In this episode of NUA Show, I'll tell you an amazing story about how the supernatural can intertwine with everyday life and how secrets of the past can unexpectedly unfold. Our story begins in a small town in Tennessee, and it's about a grandmother whom everyone knew and loved. She was short with snow-white hair neatly tied in a bun on top of her head. Despite her kind and caring nature, there was a strange power hidden in her eyes that everyone who knew her noted. Her granddaughter, then a little girl, also noticed the strangeness in her grandmother's eyes when she was about 7 years old. They were pale blue, sometimes almost colorless. At times it seemed they almost disappeared as if she were blind. During such moments, the grandmother neither saw nor heard anything around her. One day, the granddaughter asked her father about this. He simply said, "Yes, mother sometimes has oddities." He asked his daughter not to disturb her grandmother when she was in such a state. Although the girl had questions, she never asked her grandmother directly because she respected her and loved very much. Neighbors avoided coming to the house when the grandmother visited the family. This seemed strange, as they usually visited often. Children didn't play at the granddaughter's house until the grandmother left. They even called her a witch. One day, while the granddaughter was playing with friends, one of them said the grandmother was a witch. This deeply hurt the girl and she ran home in tears. The grandmother comforted her and explained that she was not a witch, but indeed saw what others could not. She said that cemeteries were terrible places for her, where she saw the bodies of the dead floating above the ground at all stages of decomposition. She asked her grandmother not to worry and not to pay attention to the words of other children. When the granddaughter turned 14, something happened that made her seriously think about the truth of her grandmother's words. A young man came to the town who hadn't seen his mother for 15 years. He learned that she had died a few months ago and wanted to rebury her in her homeland. But how to find her grave if there were several unnamed graves in the cemetery? Someone from the local suggested asking the grandmother for help, knowing her reputation. At first, she refused, but the young man begged her for help, and she agreed. When they came to the cemetery, the grandmother turned pale and asked to be shown a photo of the deceased. After a short examination, she pointed to one of the graves and said, "This is your grave." At first, it was hard for the young man and his uncle, who was the sheriff, to believe this, but they decided to check. When they opened the coffin, they found his mother's body. Some after this, the grandmother fell ill. She lived alone and the family took her in to care for her. One night, the granddaughter woke up to find her grandmother had come to say goodbye to her. She said that she was now fine and was going home. In the morning, the granddaughter learned that the grandmother had died. This story is full of mysteries that make us think that there might be something beyond the veil. This was NUA, and this was an episode of NUA Show. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and stay with us to hear more amazing stories. Thank you for your attention and see you soon.